Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're unpacking a stack of sources on a really vital topic for anyone thinking about Singapore. Accommodation costs, specifically looking ahead to 2025.
Yeah,
Our mission is basically to give you a shortcut, to understanding everything from the rent averages to maybe those less obvious, sneaky extra costs.
exactly. Singapore is an amazing place to live, offers incredible opportunities, but you really need to get a handle on housing expenses. It's critical, doesn't matter if you're a student, an expat, a professional.
Right.
We'll try and show you how to navigate the real costs involved and hopefully make some smart choices efficiently. Make sure you're well informed before you even, think about packing a bag.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Let's break down the main housing types our sources are talking about. First up, you have HDB flats.
Mm-hmm. The public housing.
Yeah, Singapore's public housing apartments. These are government subsidized, generally the most affordable path for permanent residents, PRs, and locals. We're seeing figures like SGD 700 to maybe 1,200 a month for a shared one-bedroom unit.
Which is pretty reasonable, relatively speaking.
Then you jump up to private condominiums. These have more bells and whistles, right? Pools, gyms.
All the amenities, yeah.
And there, studios seem to start around SGD 2,200, maybe up to 3,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right for a starting point.
Mhm.
And then for students, there are specific options, like specialized hostels. They can be much lower, maybe HGD 400 and 900 for a shared room.
Okay, so quite a range depending on the type.
Definitely. But what's really fascinating, I think, is how other factors play a huge role beyond just like the building type. Location, obviously, everyone knows that's key.
Sure, central versus outskirts.
Exactly. Central, like Orchard is going to cost you a lot more, but outskirts, think Woodlands, Yishun, places like that,
Mm-hmm.
offer more affordable rents. But interestingly, furnishings can bump up your rent by a fair bit, maybe 10, even 20%.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have guessed that much just for furniture.
Yeah, it adds up. And also lease length. If you want something short term, like less than 6 months, expect to pay a premium, sometimes quite a surprising one.
Right, okay. But just knowing that base rent, even with location and furniture factored in, that's only like half the picture, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
Our sources really highlight how many people get tripped up by the other costs, the ones you might not immediately think about.
The hidden extras.
Exactly. So beyond the monthly rent check, you've got utilities, gas, water, electricity. Could be, what, SGD 100, 200 a month?
Easily, yeah. Depending on usage, aircon.
Plus internet, another SGD 4060. If you're in a condo, there's often maintenance fees too, maybe SGD 200, 400 a month.
Covers the pool cleaning and all that.
And then the big upfront ones, agent fees. Usually 1 month's rent for a standard 1-year lease, right?
That's a typical arrangement, yes.
And security deposits, usually 1, sometimes 2 months rent paid right at the beginning. It's easy to see how someone might not budget enough initially. I mean, those upfront costs alone could easily double what you expect to pay in that first month, couldn't they?
Absolutely. Yeah, underestimating those initial cash outlays is a super common pitfall. People focus on the monthly rent number and forget about the move-in costs.
So this brings us to the practical side then. How can you actually manage all this? What tips do the sources give?
Okay, yeah, some good stuff here. For students specifically, sharing a flat is a big one. Can cut your individual housing costs by like up to 50%.
Wow, half.
Yeah, significant. And looking into university-linked hostels is smart too. They often have reduced rates, sometimes package deals including utilities, which simplifies things and can save money. A real lifeline for many.
That's a huge potential saving for students, definitely.
Yeah.
What about more general strategies for, expats or professionals, just anyone moving there?
For sure. Well, for everyone, considering those city outskirts we mentioned, places like Jurong or St. Kang, is still a key strategy. They often offer lower rents, but still have really good MRT connectivity, so you're not totally isolated.
Right, the transport links are crucial.
They are. Though it's worth remembering the point from David Tam, the urban planning consultant. He warns that, cheap rent far away may cost more in the long run.
Ah, because of transit time and
Oh,
costs.
exactly. Commuting costs money and, maybe more importantly, time. So you need to weigh that up, find the right balance for you. Don't just chase the absolute lowest rent number without thinking about the trade-offs.
That makes sense. Any other tips?
Yeah, negotiation. Property agent Lin Chua advises, always negotiate before signing. Apparently, landlords often build in a little bit of wiggle room. Maybe not huge amounts, but minor adjustments are possible. Worth asking, right?
Definitely worth asking. Every little bit helps.
And we saw that case study of Ravi, the student. He managed to cut his rent drastically from SGD 2,800 down to 1,500 just by switching to a co-living space. So exploring different types of shared living can also yield big savings.
Okay, so it's about being strategic, exploring options, and not being afraid to negotiate, and understanding the full cost, not just the headline rent.
Precisely. That's the core takeaway, I think. It's not just the sticker price.
And when we compare Singapore to other big global cities, our sources mention that, yeah, student and shared housing can be relatively cheaper than, say, London or New York.
True, though it's certainly more expensive than somewhere like Kuala Lumpur, for instance. It sits somewhere in that global city spectrum.
Right.
So if we try and connect this all back to the bigger picture, it's pretty clear that living affordably in Singapore isn't just about finding the lowest possible rent figure. It's more nuanced. As property consultant Tan Mei Ling put it quite well, the key to affordable living in Singapore is understanding what you're actually paying for and where your negotiables lie.
I like that. Understanding what you're actually paying for and where you might have some leverage. That's such a critical distinction. So, thinking about all this, what stands out to you, the listener, when you consider Singapore, or maybe any new city you're thinking about? What unexpected hidden cost might you be overlooking in your own planning right now? And maybe more importantly, how could a simple negotiation or just shifting your perspective slightly potentially save you hundreds?
Food for thought.
Definitely. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into trying to understand living expenses in the Lion City.